Hello Keepers, it's a brand new year, which means it's time for my favorite festival at EPCOT, the International Festival of the Arts. We made our way over there for an afternoon to soak in everything the festival had to offer this year, and I want to share that with you. So with all that being said, let's go. Mike the beat, the music. So we made our way over to EPCOT for this year's festival and just to kind of take in everything it had to offer. And we found out that they were giving away another annual pass holder magnet. That's right, if you're an annual pass holder, every now and then there's like a little giveaway, usually at EPCOT, sometimes at the other parks. So we made our way over to Creations to find out what it was. So this year's magnet, if you haven't already got it and haven't already seen it on other social media platforms, is Ray from Princess and the Frog. As you know, this year, Tiana's Bayou Adventure did open at Magic Kingdom Park, and so to continue with their theme and their celebration of this new attraction or re-theming opening this year, they made Ray into the annual pass holder magnet they're giving away currently. I'm so happy to see that they're finally incorporating other characters into these annual pass holder magnets. There for a while it seemed like they were kind of sticking to like the Fab 5, Fab 6 if you include Daisy, and so I'm really glad that they're venturing out because there are just so many characters to choose from that are now under the Disney umbrella. Alright, so we picked up our magnet, we did a little bit of window shopping, but we wanted to make our way over to Communicore Hall because they're featuring for the festival Once Upon a Stage 30 Years of Disney on Broadway. So last year was actually the 30th anniversary of Disney on Broadway, and if you know the very first Disney on Broadway musical, then you know that last year was actually the 30th anniversary. Of course, they are celebrating that this year with this wonderful exhibit in the hall. So when Communicore Hall first opened, it was just bombarded with all kinds of criticism, which anything Disney or any other theme park does. It's going to get hit with all kinds of just comments and all kinds of stuff, and it certainly did get that. But I don't think they were quite ready to utilize the hall for what it was meant to be. And this is our first installment of actually seeing them use this space to its full potential, and it's amazing. When you walk in, it's just full of all kinds of just wonderful things from the world of Disney on Broadway. There's a section with the Lion King Mask and Puppet Workshop. You see all kinds of just the masks, the puppets, different things from the Lion King musical. I did get to see this musical in person. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. It's a really good musical. Towards the other side, there was Aladdin Costume Studio. They have costumes from the musical, of course, set up to look like a little costume shop. So if you're really into musicals, theater, costume making, puppetry, just being creative in any of that sense, or just have a general interest, you're gonna love this exhibit. There's so much to see and look at. It's a self-guided exhibit, so you can take your time. You don't have to rush through everything. You can spend as much time as you want, of course, during regular park hours. And then kind of in the middle section, there's some props. So you see some stuff from Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Frozen. These are all from the musicals. So these are props used in the musical versions of these beloved stories and tales that Disney has produced. So continuing on, you pass by a little section from Newsies with costume, and then of course a prop there also from the musical. Really cool to see. And then just beyond that, there's what looks like these kind of big shadow boxes, is what I called them. But they're basically models of the stage production. So the sets, the design, all that stuff. I do know they make these models for these stage productions before they make the full scale model, just to see how it's actually going to work, how things will fit, and that way they're not like making the big full-size thing and then figuring out, oops, it's not quite working out that too well or the way we thought it was going to. Take your time. These are really cool to look at, all the intricacies, these little models that they made, like basically to scale. They're just another neat aspect in this exhibit. So of course you have to have some festival merch in these exhibits. Now this is just standard festival merchandise that they had for sale, but I want to point out above it they have Figment, who's kind of become the icon for Festival of the Arts, and he's there in his dressing room kind of getting ready to go on stage. So I thought that was really cool, like a nice little touch about the merchandise area to kind of keep within the theme of the exhibit. Now also in the middle of this area was another collection of various pieces from the musicals, costume-wise, that you can really get up close and look at, really like look at all the little details, count all the stitchings, rhinestones, just all the like cool little pieces. They even had the costume from the new musical Hercules. So that was really, really cool to see, just everything like kind of just right there in front of you in person. So if you've ever been to any of these musicals, you've seen them on TV, whatever, this is your chance to see everything like up close and personal. Oh, I almost forgot. So did you know what the first Disney musical was to hit Broadway? If you said Beauty and the Beast, you are correct. Beauty and the Beast, the musical, did open on April 18th of 1994. It was based on the 1991 animated film. So I do want to say I was a little disappointed because in this exhibit, although I mean it's a pretty decent sized exhibit with a lot of stuff in it, they only featured a couple things from Beauty and the Beast, which was the very first musical. So I kind of felt that that was a little bit like, like I know more people know like The Lion King, Aladdin's really big right now, but Beauty and the Beast was the first one. So I kind of wish they would have had a few more costume pieces or, you know, things from that musical. It was nice to see the Enchanted Rose, of course. That's like a symbol, like you see that. Most people think Beauty and the Beast. But I don't know, I just kind of wish that they had a little bit more, seeing that it was the very first Broadway musical for Disney. One of the things I love about this festival is you get to see real artists at work, and they're from all different genres. So there's, you know, your painters, your sketchers, your musicians, like all kinds of art is displayed here at some point in time during this festival, and the fact that you get to see it actually being created, I think is just amazing. That's why I kind of say if you're able to go more than once, you need to, because there's a lot of things at this festival that are constantly changing. There's something new or different, either being creative, being finished, has been wiped clean and replaced. If you get that chance to return to this particular festival, it is the shortest festival. That's the only thing I have to say. This is the shortest festival. Don't like that. Disney, please extend this festival. Try to go back multiple times because you will get to see a lot of different things that you haven't seen probably the first, second, third time that you went. So there are a lot of artists at this festival that are displaying and selling their artwork. We have bought several pieces over the years from this festival, and on this particular trip we did see one of the artists that we kind of enjoy, Rob Kaz. We do have quite a few pieces from him. We enjoy his design, his cartoon, kind of the characters, and kind of what he puts, you know, situations he puts them in. But this time we did see some more pieces we really enjoyed. And so one of the amazing things also about having the actual artists there, you're able to talk to them, you can get them to sign a piece that you purchased. So it's this whole experience for this particular festival that just really makes it unique. Alright, so we had to make our way across the pond to the American Pavilion because the Voices of Liberty, who are a staple at EPCOT, got new costumes. And I really, really wanted to check them out, and I figured it was a great moment in time to do this because Festival of the Arts, costumes, gotta do it, right? So if you've never seen the Voices of Liberty, I suggest you get over to the American Pavilion and check them out. They're an a cappella group that do a lot of like old Americana songs. Every now and then they do some Disney songs, but they're just a joy to experience and listen to underneath the rotunda in the American Pavilion. So when they were talking about these new costumes, Disney did put out a little blip on the Disney Park blog talking about it, and talk to some of the actual designers that created these new costumes for the performers. So they were talking about when it came to the color palette for the costumes, they found inspiration from a vintage American flag. It allowed them to create unique looks for each performer while still coordinating with the whole group, illustrating the way in which individual voices come together as one. Aubrey, the costumer for this project, sourced a sustainable fabric made from 50% or more of recycled material. So, like I said, if you haven't checked out the Voices of Liberty, make sure you do that. They're usually there earlier in the day. Their last performance is usually around like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Check the time sky on the day you're visiting. You won't regret it. Like the other festivals at EPCOT, this one also includes food studios. The difference with this one is now they always try to do some sort of presentation for the food that they do have at the different studios for the different festivals. But it seems like they kind of turn it up a notch for Festival of the Arts. So we did try some of the food while we were there. The first stop we had was at the American Pavilion after we got done listening to the Voices of Liberty. It's at the artist table, and we got the deviled egg trio. This has 3 deviled eggs, and they come with pimento cheese, green goddess dressing, and a BLT. So a lot of people were commenting on these deviled eggs that they are literally a hard-boiled egg cut in half, and then the topping is just put on top. It's not like scooped out and filled and all that stuff. I didn't mind that. I did not mind that. The toppings for each one, they were delicious. My favorite was the pimento cheese and the BLT. The green goddess was good, but if I had to pick favorites, it was a toss-up between the other two. So next we made our way over to Germany, where we stopped at the Pastoral Palette. So we started off with the red wine braised beef short rib. It comes with a parsnip puree, broccolini, baby tomatoes, and balsamic glaze. This was absolutely delicious. If you like short ribs, you have to get this. It was just perfect. It was very, very good. The short rib was so tender, so flavorful. Have to do this again. We also tried the pork and white bean cassolette. It's with Rosenberger sausage and crispy pork rinds. So this one was actually pretty good too. We didn't get any pork rinds. At least I didn't see or taste pork rinds in this dish. It was good. The sausage was really good. It had a nice little spice to it. Just the whole dish itself was actually really, really good. So a little fun thing I always like to point out, if you're going to Germany, you have to stop by the train set that is set up on the side of the kind of mountain hill area, because in the front section there's the little town square. And the town square is always celebrating whatever festival is going on at the time in EPCOT. So if you stop and take a minute and look, you'll see that the banners for Festival of the Arts currently are hanging up in the town square in the train station. Just a little fun thing for you to look for. One other thing I want to mention is the chock full of characters. So this is Disney characters, of course made out of chalk art, that are scattered all throughout the World Showcase. At one time they did have some in the front sections of the park. We did not get to really explore that much this time around, so I don't know if there's anywhere else other than World Showcase. But just keep your eye open because they are literally everywhere. And finally, we did stop off in Mexico, El Arista Hambriento. I probably butchered the crap out of that. But we did try the carne asada. It's the ancho marinated beef sirloin with pasilla chile sauce, grilled queso fresco, Napoli salad, and chicharron dust. This was delicious. It was so good. Yes, we got everything and we split everything just so that we could try more food, but I kind of wish I got my own serving because this was really, really good. We also tried the croqueta, which is a chipotle chicken and chorizo croquette, and chipotle salsa with chipotle aioli, avocado mousse, and truffle oil. So I don't like avocados, and my partner is allergic to them, so we had the mousse taken off, but everything else about this was actually really, really good. It's this nice little croquette in the sauce, delicious. Maybe they can give you more than one, because I mean, for what they gave you and what you paid, it was a little like lackluster. It was delicious, but probably give you at least like another one, two or three would be nice. Overall, the Odyssey is Figment's inspiration station once again this year. This is where you're going to pick up your popcorn bucket if you decide to get one. You can get it through mobile order, and then you just pick it up at the station. Normally in the past, they would have other stuff in the station. They do have a section where they do have some food options that you can try, and then there's just a bunch of tables and chairs. They used to have a section with merchandise, and there was a little bit more going on in this area. Now it just looks like a big kind of like seating area for a cafeteria. So, you know, Figment's on the wall, and you know, that's kind of cute and everything. So it's a good spot for cool off when the weather does get warmer, but it just doesn't feel as inspiring as it has in the past. So of course, one of my favorite segments of this festival is the chalk art. So there are chalk artists that are there till about 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you get there early enough, you can actually see them creating these wonderful pieces of chalk art. It's kind of mind-blowing to me that they're doing this on the ground, on the pavement, with chalk. Because, you know, I don't know, I just always think chalk like back from like, you know, my school days when they would write on the blackboard, that sort of thing. But to create these wonderful masterpieces with chalk, and they're on the ground, on their hands and knees doing this to create these wonderful works of art. It's just mind-blowing to me. And of course, there's the other artist who does the 3D pieces that are like a photo op. They're really fun, and these always change. So they're there for, I don't know, a couple days, a week, something like that, depending on the weather. If it rains, everything gets washed away. But this is something you can definitely go back over and over again, and you'll probably always see something different. So check out the chalk art. Also, I want to mention there is the kids chalk area. So there is a little section if you're there early in the day, usually till again about 4 o'clock, 4:30. They have chalk where you and your kids, everybody's invited. You can get down and do your own creations, whatever you want. You know, just let your imagination run wild. There are some very talented people that come to these festivals, and they show it off here for everybody else to see. So if you're feeling like you really want to get into it, there is a section, but again, it's only open to about 4 o'clock, 4:30. So make sure you get there early. So finally, the kind of ending for our festival every time is the Disney on Broadway concert series, which is held at the American Gardens Theater over in the American Pavilion. So they do 3 shows a night. They are at 5:30, 6:45, and 8 o'clock. Make sure you check your times guide because you can find out who's performing that evening. And then in case you forget the times that they're actually doing the performances. On this particular evening, we were able to see Cassie Levy. She is from Frozen. So new for this year, we saw Jelani Remy, and he is from The Lion King. These two were absolutely amazing. This whole series is always a real treat for me. I love Broadway, I love theater, I love the arts. So this for me is just a nice like kind of kiss goodnight to end my evening for the festival, if you're not staying for fireworks.
And the sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood when I drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.
Well guys, that's gonna do it. That was our trip to Festival of the Arts. We're gonna try to make it back again before the season ends. Of course, that's all, you know, we'll see what happens. This last year was completely crazy for me. This year has already been crazy for me. So if we make it back, I'll be sure to share that with you. Otherwise, thank you so much for following along on these little adventures of mine. And as always, I am Mike the Bee. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm just going to be. You be too. I'll see you guys later. Bye!